intensively in southern Lebanon after detecting plans by Hezbollah to launch its own strikes. Now, it comes after an Israeli attack on a Hezbollah target levelled an 8-storey building in Beirut, killing at least 37 people. It's the deadliest strike on the Lebanese capital since the 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war.
For another big explosion or another disaster to happen, and we cannot know what way they will use. It's not over.
All right, in Gaza, Palestinian health officials say an Israeli strike on a school sheltering displaced people has killed at least 22 people and injured another 30. The Israeli military says the strike in southern Gaza City targeted a Hamas command centre and that steps were taken to limit harming civilians. But the Gazan Health Ministry says most of those killed were women and children.
A missile from the plane hit us, and then another missile. We saw the whole world covered with smoke and stones, all of which were scenes that broke the heart. What should we do?
The deteriorating security situation is being closely watched by thousands of Australian families with relatives and loved ones still in Lebanon.
For more on this, we're joined now by Gamel Kheir, the Secretary of the Lebanese Muslim Association in Sydney. Gamel, welcome to the program. So we've seen what Israel is calling extensive strikes on southern Lebanon overnight. What levels of distress are you picking up among Lebanese Australians, either here, worrying about people there, or in country in Lebanon?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's important to note that this is not the first time Israel has breached the security of Lebanese, the borders. So the Lebanese have become very resilient in that sense. What's alarming is the level that the Israeli government has now gone to in terms of using what we would call personal items like pages and mobile phones. That's really the alarm in Lebanon at the moment. I mean, we've got family who are too scared to call their family in Lebanon by fear of they may be liable for the sense that they may cause a murder because that phone may be tapped or detonated. So that's sending more alarm. It's psychological warfare, really, and this is something that's uniquely now become used in Lebanon. So there's a very heightened sense of alarm. Yeah. It doesn't just border onto the Israeli border. It's now a fear that this may spread all the way through Lebanon, throughout the whole country.
Yeah, I will put to you in just a moment, Gamel, the Israeli claim on that. But can I just ask about attempts to escape or to flee Lebanon? Are you aware of any uptick in the number of people who might seek to get a commercial flight to Australia, assuming they have an entitlement to do that?
Yeah, look, we had this situation a couple of months ago when the Australian government sent a warning out to any Australian citizen in Lebanon. As I said back then, the reality of Lebanon and who it borders with, it's very hard to get commercial flights because a lot of them aren't flying out because of the ongoing tensions within that area. So there's only limited capacity as it is. The numbers have started to come back down in terms of Australians visiting relatives or visiting the country due to the fact that the summer season is now coming to an end. But there has been an uptick, but again, within the capacity that the Lebanese airport can live with, and obviously the amount of commercial flights actually entering Beirut at the moment, which is a fraction of what it used to be.
All right, Gamel. So why don't we test this Israeli claim? It made the claim surrounding the exploding pages and radios earlier in the week and still makes the claim now that what it's doing operationally is targeted strikes on Hezbollah command. You're clearly suggesting that's not the case, are you?
Well, let's take into focus international law. Who has the right to make arbitrary rulings and arbitrary killings? I mean, are we setting a precedent that we don't like somebody, we just take them out because we don't like them? There is a system in place. I mean, we have a Geneva Convention in place. We either throw out Geneva Convention and we just become barbaric, or we have international law, and whether we like it or the other side or not, there is a process that must be involved. If you just take that arbitrary ruling to detonate a pager, now God forbid that pager was on a plane or on a train or on a bus.